everyone, welcome to Tolz kitchen again. So today we're going to be making paella. Paella is like, fried rice. As we all know, there are different kinds of fried rice. So paella is a Spanish kind of fried rice where you've got seafoods in it. And then for today we're going to be using snail, and I'm going to be using prawn. You can use as many seafoods as you like because it's usually a kind of so much packed, kind of fried rice. It's Christmas and celebration is in the air, joy is in the air. So this is the perfect food for you and your loved ones to enjoy. Apart from the snail and the prawn, I'm going to be using, of course, rice. I've got my oil here, I've got liver. You can decide to use gizzard if you like. And then I've got the seasonings, chicken to be diced in it, and then peppers. I'm adding Scotch bonnet because I love pepper. So if you don't like it hot, you don't have to add the Scotch bonnet. But for the purpose of this video, I'll be adding Scotch bonnet. Now let's get started. So I'm going to rinse my you dice your onions and the peppers. You can also use yellow pepper. In my previous videos, you realize that when I'm making things like this, in the video for coconut fried rice, I actually used yellow pepper. So if you like, you can use yellow pepper, you can use red pepper also. Depends on you. Just so you can have varieties of peppers in it. So pepper in any shape that you want. I like it really prominent in my food, right? So that's why I don't do the cube style, because with that everything just really looks small. But for me, like I said earlier, I love it, big in it and prominent. And of course, it's faster and easier. I love easy life, please. Who doesn't? So the first thing is to parboil my rice. I'm going to be parboiling the rice. So while it's parboiling, we'll dice the other ingredients. Since I'm parboiling rice, I don't wash first because the essence of parboiling is to remove excess starch. I'm parboiling the rice. Like I said earlier, you don't have to wash since you're parboiling, and the essence of parboiling is to remove excess starch. I've poured in water to cover my pot and allow it for about 5 minutes on moderate heat. Then we'll take it out. Also, the snail and the liver goes into the air fryer because you want it a bit crunchy. So now you put the snail and the liver. I'm just going to put the two together to save my time, right? And allow it grill for about 10 minutes. Might not do up to that. It's just for it to get dry really before you dice. So I'm setting it to 10 minutes. The very first time I tasted paella was several years ago when I was still in the secondary school. My dad went to ShopRite and he got us paella. I'm like, oh, paella, like, what's actually the special thing? This is like fried rice, but then, oh my God, the fact that there was snail in it made the whole difference. And that's what I was saying in the beginning of this video, that the what kind of distinguish paella from your regular fried rice is the seafoods, especially snail. Onions is set. So the next thing to dice now is peppers, but I'll do that last because you don't want to touch it at all. So the next thing we're going to dice is our chicken. I've got some fillets right here. So it's chicken fillet, no bones whatsoever. So it makes it easy to dice. You can decide to season it first, by boiling, and then you grill. But I mean, that's a long time. thing, so it's going to be a very long thing. It's not needed. So a faster way to do it is just for you to dice it. Chicken doesn't take long to cook, so stir frying would do a perfect job, and that's what we're going to do in this video. You don't want it to be too tiny, because if it's too tiny, it's going to shrink by the time you fry it. So we're done dicing the chicken. Transfer it back into the bowl. We're finally done with dicing. The last thing to dice is the pepper. The best way to dice your Scotch bonnet is by just, leaving it on your chopping board, holding your knife, and just cut through. Okay, so now to make the cooking fast, I've got 2 pots on fire. We're going to be frying the rice here. You can decide not to do this actually. You can decide to just, fry everything all together. But I want to do the proper frying of rice. Get what I mean? Okay, so I'm going to fry the rice. You just need a bit of oil, really. Doesn't have to be much. So it is at this stage that you're going to season your rice slightly, right? By the time the oil is heated up a little, you add a bit of thyme, you add a bit of curry, and a bit of seasoning to taste. Like I said, it has to be just slightly, okay? So we've got the oil there, and then you pour in your rice. Don't forget you are frying the rice, so you have to stir as you pour it in. Don't forget you need to keep stirring because it's fried rice. You just want it to have that fried texture, just a little. We're frying until the rice is dry. Like I said, you don't have to go through the stress of frying in a different pot, right? But then this allows that fried texture more than just pouring whole in. So that's it. Reduce your heat to the lowest. Okay, so now I get on the other pot where we're going to fry the other ingredients. I've poured in some oil. You allow it to heat up. Don't forget that the chicken was not pre-boiled and it has not been seasoned. So that's what you are going to be frying first. And then at this point, to make sure that you add your seasoning and salt. Okay, so chicken doesn't take time to cook. So you just stir and stir until it's done. You see that the texture is already changing and it's getting cooked. And at this point, I've only added the seasoning and the salt. You can add your remaining curry and thyme. At this point, you see that the chicken is coming out really fine and coming out a bit cooked. So I can add my onions. Add your onions. You stir. You'll be wondering why the onions wasn't fried first. In paella, you want most of the ingredients to be crunchy, actually. So you have your onions also crunchy in it. Don't forget you are still on high heat. You don't need a low heat at this point. It needs to be high because you're frying. I'm also going to be adding the Scotch bonnet and the ginger and garlic. The reason I'm adding Scotch bonnet now is because I need the chicken to taste hot by the time the rice is done. You can see that the chicken is cooked, really. It's already cooked to a reasonable extent. Not entirely cooked, but almost there. Okay, let's check on the rice. Yeah, it's done. So I'll turn off the heating and cover it. We'll get back to the rice later. So the thing with paella, you need to keep frying, stirring because it's stir fry. Don't forget. So until it's done, you'll see that even the onions is changing texture already and color, getting really soft. Seeing that the chicken is nearly cooked, at this point I can add the snail and liver. I grew up liking paella so well since not like grew up, like I was in the secondary school then, and then ShopRite used to sell this paella. One day my dad just bought the rice, it was paella. I'm like, this tastes really good. Then I felt, but this is like fried rice, there's really nothing special. But I realized that the special thing in it was actually the seafood, especially snail. So like I said earlier, that's your major ingredient in paella. Can cover, let it simmer for about 2 minutes before we pour in the rest, the peppers, the green pepper and the prawn. Okay, so let's check on our mix. Oh wow, so you can see that it's well cooked. So at this point we can add the green pepper. Like I said, in paella you want everything, most of the ingredients crunchy actually. So it's okay if you're just adding your pepper, the green pepper I meant. So that's the reason I decided to add Scotch bonnet, because that would really give me the hotness that I need. We've added the green pepper and now we have the prawn. Oh, I love seafood. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, how much you love seafood, so you can possibly form seafood gang. Get what I mean? Okay, so at this point you don't have to wait much. You can pour in your rice. I have to pour it in steadily. Don't forget that the rice, so it doesn't have to stay much on fire. Yeah, this is looking like paella. We are almost there, not there yet though. Yeah. And then you stir. You don't need to add water. The little water that came out from the, what's it called now, the chicken, is enough to get it all cooked. After stirring for a while, you're going to reduce the heat and I allow it to simmer for like 10 minutes. You'll be wondering why I've not added the mixed veg. That's the last thing that goes in because you really don't need so much heat for your mixed veg. You see what I said earlier? The chicken has really shrunk and the size has reduced. So when you're dicing your chicken, don't forget, you don't want it to be too small in size. At this point, you had your mixed veg. Reduce the heat to the lowest and allow it to cook for about 10 minutes. So let's check on the rice. Then we stir. At this point, you can increase the heat because I need it to dry up in time, really. If your rice wasn't cooked at all, in the case where you decide not to, like, parboil your rice, you can decide to use low heat. That way you have to wait for about 15 minutes so your rice can get cooked. Then you cover it and in the next few minutes 3 minutes thereabout, it should be done. Okay, now let's check on our rice paella. Actually, wow, how does this look? Lovely. Some people don't like their rice really soft. Like I said, you can maintain the texture that you like, but for me, I love my rice really soft for easy digestion. So our food is cooked. So now we're going to be serving the food. Wow. Tasting time, my favorite part actually. This is lovely. I can say this is really heavenly. You should try it with your loved ones at home. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. It's good to know your thoughts, See you next time. Bye.